Ready to do this, man.
But of course.
But of course. First time for everything, I guess.
First time for everything. You and I both guessed. But guess what? We gonna make it the best. Don't mind.
Juwan X TheDon.
7 months STEEZ, you know what's going on.
And we bring y'all our first player video, if you don't mind. You know we had to tackle the greatest, one of the greatest, probably the most influential, one of the most loved footballer to ever be.
Possibly the greatest small forward to play the
I'm
game.
gonna let you do the introductions. You are the blue man.
Blue Crew, we about what it do? We about to do, man. We about to talk about that boy Eddie Betts. All the Carlton Blue Baggers, man. We all know how highly heralded this man is, held in the community, man. You know the club kind of. We'll get into it. The little questionable moves we made with him, man, as far as not having his back, man. But you know, gotta love Eddie. Everybody loves Eddie. Even the rival, the op clubs, man. How can you not love Eddie, man? He's one of generational player. We might not ever see Eddie again, so I'm glad to be able to have caught his last season. You know what I'm saying? And it's an honor, Eddie. Appreciate it. If you ever watch him, we love you, man.
And if you don't know who Eddie is, let me start this out with a few accolades, man, from the great Eddie. First of all, round 1 pick 2005, 4-time goal of the year award, 2-time Carlton leading goal kicker, 3-time All-Australian, 29th all-time leading goal kicker with 630, 30th all-time marks inside 50 with 454, number 1 in goal assist of all time, 318, and number 18 with most games played with 350 games, man.
What else is there to be said, man? Oh, there is more to be said. Come on, man. The only player to ever win 4-time Goal of the Year award, man. Come on, man. Eddie did it all, man. Eddie owns a pocket, man. He owns a whole area of a field, man. Of a ground, if you don't mind. Come on, man. Eddie did his thing. He an author, man. He has two books, man. My Kind and My People. Y'all check them out, man. For the kids and also for the indigenous people, man. For education, man. He does it all, man.
Standing up for the indigenous since day one of his career, man. But, yeah, might as well go ahead and get into this, man. Look, first of all, born Eddie Robert Betts III, November 26, 1986. He's 5'9", small forward, born in Port Lincoln, South Australia.
Agreed. Pretty accurate. He was also, after he was born, he was raised in Kalgoorlie, this is in Western Australia, and he had to move back to Port Lincoln due to issues that he had off the field, truancy, smoking, drinking, and this isn't throwing his negatives in his face. He openly embraces his negatives, and he likes to be an open book for the community, so don't take it as throwing shade at Eddie. Yeah. He's very open with who he is and where he's come from, so.
Yeah. I will say he was a family man. He moved back and forth because he was going from staying with his dad, who stayed in South Australia, to his mom, who stayed in Western Australia. He had a lot of family out in West Australia, but he ended up going back to South Australia with his dad. That's when he started getting in all the trouble. He was on a footy club during that time. He played junior footy with the Mines Rover in Western Australia, and then he played in Port Lincoln with the Mallee Park Packers, and that was an all-indigenous football club. But this was before he moved to
play Melbourne junior footy.
Right. So yeah, like you were saying, bro, was smoking and drinking, getting in trouble. So basically moved out to Melbourne and got put in a footy program by his mom. But the footy program was ran by somebody important. Go ahead, bro.
I know in 2002 he played for the Templestowe, and he won best and fairest of the EFL, which was a Division III league. He also played as what we know as the NAB League. Back then it was called the TAC Cup. And he played for the Calder Cannons. I don't know if it's Calder Cannons, how you pronounce it, but he won a premiership in 2003 and 2004. 16 years old, selected for All-Australian, Vic Metro team, Victoria, 2003 under 18 squad. So he's been a player that had talent, man.
Yeah, he probably could have got drafted that year when he, but he was too young. He wasn't eligible for the draft in 03.
Yeah, and he had the pelvic issue, the
Yeah.
osteitis pubis, or whatever. I don't even know the scientific name for it. But it kind of fucked the season up a little bit as well. But like you said, he was drafted in 2005. Carlton Blues drafted number 3. He's been entertaining us since. It's all footy. He's been on the biggest stage since then, and he's been turning up, man. He's made his debut round 1 against North. And he had a decent rookie year. He played 19 games, 19 goals. So he had a goal per game. Not bad average for your first time playing in the AFL. Excuse me.
I will say, yeah, he was pretty good his first few years in the league. I would say he wasn't standing. He was pretty average. From what I gather, he wasn't taking the game as serious as he could have at that time. There was a lot of drinking, partying, gambling going on. Yeah, he was just being young. He was never really, I guess he wasn't brought up to be an athlete. He was just always like a natural talent. Mm-hmm. So he really had to sit down and learn how to be professional when he, played the sport. And he was getting a lot of eyes on him. He just needed to start to carry himself better.
Yeah, he learned to do that. He said there was an incident he had and where he the arrest.
Oh yeah,
that he had. And
nah. Are we on 2009 yet? Are we getting there?
It doesn't matter. I was really only bringing that up because that's what he said was what changed his professionalism. So we can get into that later, but just keep in mind there definitely was an incident that had him look at just become more of a man. You know what I'm saying? Just have more of a mature mindset. And like you said earlier, he didn't take the game as serious, but he was definitely a natural talent. Definitely turning up. You know what I'm saying? So. I said 19 goals, 19 games his rookie year. His second year, he had goal of the year, which was in round 21. It was a banana on the boundary against Collingwood after the smother, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That smother, and that was such a beautiful. That was just a hint of what we were gonna get his whole career, bro.
Yeah, because it was after smother, 2 defenders closing out on him, just an impossible fucking angle, bro. That's probably one of my favorite Eddie Betts goals. And that was just so early in his career.
Second year, bro. Almost at the end of the season.
Yeah, so his first 4 years, he really averaged around 1 goal a game around there. But shit, I'm ready for 09, bro. You ready for 09?
You can bring it up.
So 09, man. I think it was actually the off season 09. Eddie Betts came off of another regular, not so great season. I think 25 goals that season. And then Carlton had the famous Carlton Blues Booze Cruise. And I really like looking up this shit. I can't wait to talk about Casbo one day so we can really get more into this story. Because Casbo was handcuffed to one of the other Carlton players and they forced him to drink. They had to get his mama on the news, bro. Shit was crazy. But that whole situation, all the Carlton players were turning up. They got kicked off this cruise ship. It was like a lunch ship. I'm not familiar with them, but sure, Australians might be, but I guess it's a cruise ship. You kind of go in, just eat lunch. It's real fancy. But they were all fucked up on the boat. So they got kicked off the boat about 2-3 hours before they were supposed to. They went through the city. It was fucked up. They was having a good time. A lot of them got into trouble. Unfortunately, Eddie Betts got arrested. I forget what the charge was exactly. Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head.
But yeah, just being drunk in public, and it really put a bad image out on his name. On top of that, I think a few years ago, Robbo was a rookie, and they were in Vegas, and there's a picture of him. I'll probably put that shit up on the screen, but there was a picture of Eddie Betts and Robbo, and Eddie Betts just looked fucked up.
He did, bro.
Robbo, he just looked young as shit. He just looked like he shouldn't even have been there. It was just a real incriminating picture, even though it wasn't as bad as they made it out to be. That whole situation really kind of affected Eddie in a negative way at the time, but he made a positive out of it.
Like we said earlier, he put that as the reason that he's more professional to this day. So there's definitely a turning point in his career, and definitely proud of him for that. And who knows, if he would have never took that as a learning lesson, who knows what Eddie Betts we could have seen and for the rest of his career for the second half of his career, you know. So, but 2009, yeah, like you said, it definitely was an eventful year. He scored 38 goals that year, so he increased his goal production. Really, the following years it just kind of increased each year, aside for 2012 because he had a little injury. But 2009 he had 38, he had 42 in 2010, which is in 2011 he had 50 goals, and in 2012 he had 48. Like I said, with it going through injury. And this is with a lot of 2012 was actually when we had a couple forwards that were injured. We had Casbo who did the shoulder shit. But and Luke Mitchell had a knee injury back then, so Eddie Betts put his team on the back, bro. When you have tall, and especially when you have tall forwards, I feel like as a footy club, bro, if as a small forward, it puts so much pressure on you, bro. If you have tall forwards who get injured, and now it's like, okay, now it's on us.
Right. But yeah, like he was saying, his numbers definitely improved. With those seasons, he got 42, 50, and 48. He was 16th, 10th, and 10th in the league with most goals kicked. So he was definitely making an impact all over the league. This was the time with the three amigos, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Garlic, Yaron, and Eddie Betts.
Mm-hmm.
And got to see a couple games, and they have some nice chemistry, and it's nice to have like a band of brotherhood or whatever. And they all produced. Yarley had goal of the year before, so Yaron, excuse me.
Yeah, it really seemed like Carlton had a lot of pieces, and
Like now.
but Eddie Betts really seemed like to be the glue on that team. From just what I've seen in the past, from hearing them talk, I watched the interview with Robbo and Eddie Betts. It seemed like after what we're about to talk about next, after Eddie left, the whole team kind of fell apart. What? Shit, get into it now. Why did Eddie leave? Or what was that situation like? Because he was playing great. He had a shitty year, and then that next year, Carlton really just let him go.
To my knowledge, I'm guessing he didn't know if the club didn't know if he would come back from injury. I guess I don't know because I think there was some article I believe I heard that if Carlton would have offered half the offer that Adelaide, you know what I'm saying, offered up, he would have took that, but they didn't even do that. So I'm guessing there's got to be some type of injury worry, bro, to not give him half. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, I have no idea.
Somebody else offered him something similar. I think it was North Melbourne also offered him the same thing that Adelaide offered him, but you know he's from South Australia. His dad was sick at the time, so he ended up going to South Australia instead of North. But shit, he could have been North's best player.
Hell no. I don't know what that was like back then. I know now about all that. But, yeah, 2014 he took his talent to Adelaide. First season had 51 goals and most goals assists in the same season. So you lead the league in goals and goal assists. What else can you ask for a small forward?
Yeah. I think also when he went to Adelaide, it was like another turning point in his career. The first was in 2009 when he got arrested. The second big turning point was when he went to Adelaide because, in the interview, he was saying that he went to, take care of his father, and then he really didn't have all his homies and shit. Like, so he wasn't getting fucked up like he was. He really learned to eat right. He really learned to talk. It was really just him and his wife. So he really just focused on himself, focused on bettering the game. And every time, I notice with Eddie, every time he sits down and focuses on trying to improve, it happens, and you can see it in his stats. Like you're saying, that first year in Adelaide was great for him, but if you follow up with like 4 more years of the same with him.
Second season, he had another goal of the year. Second season in Adelaide, 2015, 63 goals. So he just keeps upping his production. No matter the club, man, he was just upping his production. So that's credit to him. And the goal of the year was like a 50-meter left foot bouncing fucking torp. And it was against Frio. Everybody loves to fuck Frio up, I think.
Frio bitch ass.
Yeah. You got something to add to that year?
That was the first time he had a career high 63 goals. I think he was second in the Coleman race that year. I think that was his highest he's ever been in the Coleman race as well. All Australian.
16, he got goal of the year again against GWS. Pinned on the boundary on the right foot snap, and it's like everything is just so magical with him, bro. Like every goal of the year he has is just ridiculous. It's like it's really hard to pick. You have to go and watch him a couple times to really marvel at the magic that he does. And a couple of them were in his pocket, man. So.
Yeah, I think it got called the Eddie Best pocket after he went to Adelaide.
Yeah.
Specifically in the Adelaide Oval, it's the Eddie Best pocket.
I think the left pocket, right? If you're facing the scoring side.
Facing the sky, I think it's the right, but most of his goals of the year be on the left, which would be crazy. It was named that after the coach at the time, Brenton Sanderson. 2017 was probably the Crows' best year. I think they were number one on the ladder that year. They definitely, I think everybody expected them to win. Crows had a squad. They had Eddie Best, they had Charlie, they had I think, Dangerfield at the time.
Tex.
Tex.
He was the captain of that team.
Yeah. They had a really deep squad. They were number one in the regular season. Really went all the way. Yeah, they went all the way to the grand finals, and this is when Richmond started they reign. Even though that's over now, but Richmond really got the dub on Adelaide in the grand finals. I don't think anybody was expecting it. Richmond was definitely the underdog. From an interview, Eddie Best said that he really thought they won the grand final the game before. I think it was against Geelong, because that was supposed to be a tough game. Richmond was supposed to be a walkthrough win. Richmond really just came and stole it. And that's the closest Eddie ever came to winning the grand final.
Yeah, that was his one and only grand final appearance. So, also earlier in the year 2017, I know a Port club member made a racist comment to Eddie, and they gave him an honorary coin toss with Tip and Woody. I think that game he also took the Coleman lead. Obviously, like you said, that was the highest he got last year. But he didn't win the Coleman, but he took the Coleman lead that game, so it was pretty nice. And then, as you know, the season ended with a grand final disappointing loss. 2018 kind of started slow. I think 18 games, he had about 29 goals in 18 games.
Yeah, I think this is when his career really started to go downhill. He really never, like I said, that 2017 was the closest he got to the grand final. I think he was hurt a lot of this year. 18 games played, 5 games missed. I think it was like shoulder injuries or some shit like that.
Something tells me the life of a small forward don't really last long anyway. So 12 years in already. And then giving as much effort as he does, it's going to wear on you.
Yeah, but that, for the most part, this year was uneventful for Adelaide. It's really the start of the end, in my opinion. Anything else for that year?
Yeah, season high 4 goals against the Bulldogs.
In 2019, last season, I don't think he did too much at all that year with the Crows.
He had his 300th game, round 5. He had a goal of the year, his last one, his final one that he would receive.
Yeah.
The left foot banana from the left pocket. But yeah, it was more of the same as far as slow year. 37 goals. I think he had 2 6-goal games against Gold Coast, bro. So welcome to the league, Gold Coast. Eddie Betts had to at least give you a little taste of what he was. And that's pretty much all I got to wrap up his Adelaide stint, man.
Yeah, it was really, from the stats and how it looked, it was really kind of a disappointing end to his Adelaide. Shit, after that, he went back to Carlton to finish off his career.
2020 to 2021.
2020 was a bullshit season just because of COVID.
Yeah.
We all know, so
15 games.
Yeah, I feel like he planned to retire in 2020, but he wanted a good season to go off on, at least a full season, and 2021 came around. Cause he was able to get that 350 game, and he did that.
Yeah. 2020 he had 13 goals in 15 games, so he wasn't averaging a goal a game at that point. Season high 4 against the Bulldogs yet again. 2021 season high this year was 5 against the Bulldogs again, so he kind of fucks with the Bulldogs a little bit. He had a goal of the year nominee this year against Sydney, the one-handed scoop. with the
Facts,
kick.
yeah,
That was pretty
facts.
nice. I don't think that one was really talked about too much this year, but there was a lot of great goals this year. So, and then of course his 350th game, round 23 against GWS, a disappointing ass whoop, where he was pretty much disrespected, bro. And I hate it for him. I'm glad he got to see 350, man. So.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely had a great career. Definitely impactful. Definitely is a household name. If you watch footy, I feel like you should know who Eddie Betts is. I think he's really just all around good guy, man. A lot of players, friends say you can't really say nothing bad about him. He's always there for his friends. He's always there for his family. Speaking on his family, he got 5 kids.
He said his oldest son was the one who brought his passion back for footy. So
Yeah.
salute to him. He said Adelaide was the best decision of his footy career, and that probably was what made him have that decision.
Yeah.
Only player to win goal of the year consecutive years.
You know, his yeah. I saw this interview. His wedding was a surprise wedding. Like, I guess him and his wife were engaged for a long ass time, but never really sat down and got married or whatever. So one day, it was just like, let's go get married type shit.
On some improv shit.
And they just went and did that shit. I think Robert was sick about that shit because he didn't get no wedding invite, but Eddie would say, well, he was telling people that he wasn't married, even though he got married. It was a whole funny ass situation.
Really funny as shit.
He is funny as shit. His book, I think that's pretty much about indigenous people. It's for indigenous Australians, like learning to fit in and be comfortable in their own skin. So he's definitely for the children, for the people, for his people for sure, more than anything. But Eddie Betts is just a good guy, bro.
I think that was the My People book.
My Kind and My People are, I think they're both kind of go together type
for real?
shit.
Okay. His career high goal was 8 in the game against Essendon 2011. He likes the ops.
Oh, shit. Also, at one point when he was playing footy, I think for Carlton the first time, he was working as a teacher at a university, a professor.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I got, man. Hopefully we see some Betts kids in the league in the future. I think Eddie Betts Jr., the 4th, was just born last year. He has 2 other sons and twins. So hopefully Eddie Betts takes over the footy, man. In a few years, we see some Betts kids.
I agree, man. Young Eddie, man. I would love to see a bunch of them carry on the name like the Sylvanis and the Danahers, and those names just to be carried on, especially if they all fall under Carlton and the father-son rule. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's about it, man. Y'all ain't know it was my birthday the other day.
Wish my guy happy birthday, man.
If you want to wish me a happy birthday, hey man, we on Patreon. Yeah, I dropped the price to $2 for anybody to join Patreon. Link's always in the description. Definitely appreciate y'all, for sure.
I agree, man. Support us, man. Support my boy for his birthday, man.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube shit. Almost 2,000, but I think the video almost over, so we about to go ahead and anything I done. Here.
Huge round of applause. And the Giants play their part, as is the respect these days within the AFL. Well done, Eddie Betts. Well done, Levi Casbolt. Levi's cheering Eddie.